Hi, this is Mitchell with Advanced RV. We're starting to do Fords now. Behind me is a Ford Transit called The Moment, which is a friend of ours named Debbie. She's building a mobile interview studio for her interviews with veterans. Today we're gonna cover 5 or 6 things that we're finding and we're handling as we do builds on the Ford Transit chassis. This is a Ford Transit 350 gasoline engine. And the reason we're starting to do more Transits now is the gasoline engine in the Transit is now able to carry the same amount of weight or about the same amount of weight as a Sprinter 3500. So both have a gross vehicle weight rating of about 11,000 pounds now. And that reason combined with a couple others, including the service of the Ford, is why more folks are starting to do that and why you're seeing them in our facility now. So I'm at another part of the facility now next to another Ford Transit. This is the second one we're gonna do called Van Winkle. And I'm gonna share some of the other comparisons that our clients are making as they're comparing the Mercedes Sprinter to the Ford Transit. This client wanted the gasoline Ford because of the gasoline engine's extra power. He also wanted the higher number of service locations available to him, seeing as every Ford dealership works on the Transit. This is going to be an interesting build, and it's a testament to the extra floor-to-ceiling space of the Transit as well as the smaller taper. There's going to be a bed in the front, a forward bed with an electrically deploying mattress that comes from the ceiling. In the middle is going to be his kitchen, and towards the back is going to be the bathroom, so a rear bathroom. The key comparisons among many are the front driving seating location. The Ford Transit driver sits lower to the ground, closer to the road than the Mercedes driver. But what that allows is inside the van, more floor to ceiling space. So inside the Transit, there's about 3 or 4 more inches from ground to the roof. Mercedes Sprinter has more of a taper coming up than the Ford. The Ford has more straight walls coming up, so there's more room left to right in the upper cabinet area, as we would call it. While the Ford has the more floor-to-ceiling space, this is the longest that the Ford Transit can be, and it's about the same interior space lengthwise as the standard length Sprinter. So if what you're looking to maximize is the front to back space, the extended length Sprinter has about 2 feet on this. So just a couple more things. Here in the front cab of the Transit, it's a little bit more compact as well. So some people might like that. Other people like the more spacious front cab of the Sprinter. The gasoline Ford has more power than the Mercedes Sprinter. The diesel engine Sprinter does have better gas mileage. So these are all things that we're considering alongside our clients that we covered in another video that Cadence will link in the description of this video, Ford and Mercedes compared. So now let's go back to Debbie's interview van to show some of the components that we're installing. So this doesn't have anything to do with the Ford, but since we're making Deb's sofa bed now, I want to show you how we make our beds comfortable. This is part of Debbie's sofa bed now. She's going to use it to sit down and interview folks and also sleep. Inside of a mattress like that is a dual piece latex pin core and foam stack that is pretty expensive, but it makes a big deal for the comfort. If you take a look, there's different types of cuts that you can do in the latex to give it different firmnesses. This one has larger holes, so it's a little bit softer, but our clients spend a lot of time figuring out the right firmness for them, and then we custom make a mattress. You can see how there's different levels of firmness and softness amongst the latex, and it makes sense. You're spending a lot of time on the road in your bed, actually. So we're back at Debbie's van here. She's gonna do interviews with veterans in this, so like all of our clients, she's gonna need a battery system that she can rely on. So as you can see outside here, we're gonna have ports for her XLR audio hookups on the outside of the van. Inside, she's gonna have sound equipment, lights, and just things to run. So typically what we do is install a lithium battery system. We've been doing high-end lithium battery systems for years. Just in the last year, we've done an in-house 48-volt battery system. Here's about 6 of them here. The 48-volt lithium battery system is lighter, it charges faster, and it's a smaller footprint than what else is out there. But Debbie's not going to use that. Debbie wants something that's more cost-effective, so what we sourced for her was a off-the-shelf battery system that's self-contained called an EcoFlow battery. This is a 5 kilowatt-hour battery. The ones I showed you in the other, in the battery area, that we build 16.2 kilowatt hours. But the thing with the EcoFlow battery is that you can upgrade it as you go and add other 5 kilowatt hour packs to it. This has an onboard charger, onboard alternator, and it's bi-directional, so it can charge the chassis battery as well. When we use our 48-volt system, we charge the front chassis battery as well using a trickle charger. Our next Transit, the Van Winkle build, that'll have our 48-volt system. It'll last longer and it has more interface and service flexibility, but this is a lower cost option that will work for Deb. What we want to talk about now is the plumbing. So plumbing and the components are important for our clients. Debbie's got a fresh tank and a gray tank. Ron's fitting these first Transit tanks for us. As all our tanks do, they have some sort of heating element. Both of these have electric pads on them to keep them warm. What we'll most often do in our Sprinter builds in the 40-gallon fresh tanks is run a line of hot glycol through a groove or a notch in the tank. So when it's freezing outside, that freshwater tank stays liquid. In our diesel Sprinters, we'll have a diesel furnace that's really small. And this one is the same type of furnace, except this one's gasoline. So it's located here. It takes a small amount of gasoline fuel and is able to heat the entire inside of the vehicle. It's easy to service and maintain as well. Back to the tanks, there's a little bit less under chassis space in the Ford than the Mercedes. So as I said, the Mercedes freshwater tank is 40 gallons, what we've done, and this is 20, but for our next Ford build, we're gonna mate 2 of these tanks together to give the next client 40 gallons as well. So here's a sneak peek at the third Ford in line for us. It's a Ford E450, 7.3 liter V8 gasoline engine with a massive vehicle weight rating of 14,500 pounds. Our client Carl is building this with us, and he's naming this Dielectric Chameleon. It's gonna have the same box mounted to the back as our B box, a fiberglass foam sandwich that's highly insulated, except the box is gonna be taller and wider than what we usually do on the B box. So this is gonna approach that kind of Class C territory for us. Thank you for watching today. We're grateful to start doing these Fords now. Debbie came in the other day and saw the work that we've done on her Transit and was blown away by seeing her vision come to life. So please let us know what you think about the Ford and the Mercedes. We got a lot of good feedback on our first Ford and Mercedes video that Cadence will link, and want to keep that conversation going. So post in the comments what side you're on.